So it's really been an interesting season for me and for all of us. It's absolutely really been good. And by the way, the book, is absolutely ready. Absolutely ready. So we are here again today to have conversation around family, around parenting children, around marriage, etc., etc. But before we go any further, let me introduce my guest this morning. Here it's Nike, and right there across is Julius. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
Awesome, awesome. So, in continuation of our last episode, we want to build on that. And today we're going to be looking, like I said, at parenting because you both parents, right?
Yes.
By His grace.
Can you talk to us more about, your background, family, children, and so on? How many?
Okay, so I came from a family of 4, of which I'm the first child. So I've got 3 other siblings, and then my parents.
And what about you? Your children? How many?
And I have 3. I have 3 lovely children as well.
Yeah, married.
I'm
Happily married. Awesome. And you, sir?
Yeah, I also came from a family of 4. I have a younger brother, which makes life easy because it's just like a friend.
Yeah.
So it makes life easy for us. So, and with regards to my marriage aspect, God has blessed us with 3 lovely children.
Yeah.
So we exceeded our normal parent background of 4.
Yeah.
We exceeded it in 1. So we are 5, and we pray.
And of course, you're building on that. How many do you have now?
It's just 3 children for now, and I think
for
that's
now.
it for now. That's it. Okay. We open, it won't be more than that. We open.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's great. So we want to talk about number 1 about how you guys how you've been able to do it.
Okay.
You said you have 3.
Yeah.
And I think you're on the same boat. You also have 3. And so on. And I was sharing with someone this morning that our children, they live in like 3 worlds. The school world.
Yeah.
They also have the home world, with us. And they also have the church world.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
That's true, yeah.
That's very true.
So I want us to look at that critically as to how have you been able to help them manage that? In terms of what they are learning in the school space, in terms of what they are learning in the church space, and in terms of what they are learning, at home. And sometimes some of the things they learn at home, you also bring culture into it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Based on your background. My country of heritage originally is Nigeria, okay, but I live in the United Kingdom. And I think same with you guys.
Yeah.
So how have you been able to balance, the home world, the school world and the church world? Anyone?
I would say I would say we actually, myself and my husband, we always try as much as possible to remind ourselves where our roots is.
Yeah.
So although we live in the United Kingdom, but we trying to remind the children of where their roots is, which is from Nigeria and Africa. And that way we're bringing in our culture as well as bringing also in this, factoring the fact that we live here and bringing in the culture we have here as well. Because at the end of the day, this is where they grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we also still try to remind them. And like you mentioned, having to manage between home, church and school. So what we do is integrating what they learn from school and also bringing in what we learn spiritually from church and making it blend, bringing it together with what we learn at home and what we also have been taught by our parents. So we carry on the things that we learn from our background and also allowing them to carry on as well.
Yeah. You said something about talking to them about your country of origin, your roots and so on. I remember those days I would say to my boys, I say, we're going to go to Nigeria one day together. And they used to fight that, to be honest. But recently, one of them was saying to me, I would love to go to Lagos, you know. And he was very specific. He said, you know, I would love to go to Victoria Island. I said, there is also Maryland. You want to go? I see things there. All right. So to you, Julius, what's your take?
To be sincere with it, it's been by the help of God.
Yeah.
Because bringing children up in this environment we find ourselves is a bit challenging, but God has been there. God has really been faithful. If we now bring it back to the aspect of church, we bring it to the aspect of school and also bring it home. The culture plays a very important role, which is something we can't take away from the children, because we try to instill into them that they should believe in God in whatever they do.
Yeah.
Because me and my wife, when we started, we built on that.
Yeah.
We built on faith to say it is possible. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
So sometimes our home, they do some things that normally they shouldn't do, but we try to balance it up, not to be too harsh on them and not to be too lenient with them. We try to be in the middle.
Yeah.
So it won't be as if daddy and mommy is bringing this African culture into it, because sometimes we watch movies together and they see what it happens in Africa, how children are being treated in Africa. And sometimes they ask questions. And these questions, by the grace of God, we're able to use wisdom in answering those questions, because sometimes when children ask this question and when we don't give them the appropriate answers to those questions, then there is a problem. Because if they don't get the answer they want, they will go outside and try to get answer. And that's where misinformation comes in. They start educating them with what it's not godly. And as much as possible, as Christian parents, we want to bring that into their culture, bring Christianity into it, because at their age, they might look like, oh, daddy just said, okay, let's go to church. Mommy said, let's go to church. But they know at this age they are now, they know what they are gaining while going to church with us. It's not just to go there, oh, watch the pastor preach. Sometimes they'll say, okay, pastor said XYZ in church. What does it mean?
Wow.
Then we'll now start to dissect it in the Bible, look at what it means. Even in the 10 Commandments, God says don't lie. Children should not lie. But sometimes they will ask you, but I do hear in school, they say there's something called diplomatic lie and various type of lie. But I said the truth is, as children, we are not meant to lie, because that's one of the commandments of God. So sometimes we have to be able to balance these things.
Which brings me to the bit of how much time. Because with what you've said now, it's like you have to give them some time. So how much time? Because again, let me speak to those who are relocating and coming to the UK and all of that. And I know you want to pay your bills and so on. But how much time are you really giving to your children? How much time in terms of sitting there? Because they have questions. They go to school, they teach them, they come home, they have their questions. Questions possibly that they won't be able to ask the teacher. They want to come home to ask you. So in terms of educating the public, what do you think we should be saying to them?
Well, I would say that we need to seize the time, because creating time, for me, I don't think, sometimes it might not be practical. So what I do is we seize every time we have. So sometimes we might be going shopping together. We seize that time to talk. We might be maybe cleaning the house. I do that a lot with my daughter when I might be in the kitchen, she might be tidying up the living room, and we're there gisting. Although we might end up spending more time. It happened this morning, and I had to say to her this morning, like, you're taking so much of my time now. I need to go. We're chatting too much. I had to say that to her this morning. I said, John, we're chatting too much now. I need to go. Because she was busy doing what she was doing, and I was also trying to get ready to leave the house. But she had questions, and she kept asking me questions, and it just goes on and on and on. And if we say that we want to create specific time, it might not be feasible. It might not be doable, but just seizing every opportunity we have to talk to them.
What's your take?
That's a very big question, really. It's a very big question, because time factor in this environment we find ourselves is on a platter of gold for every one of us. But as much as possible, we try to create that time for them. Because as it is, myself, I work in an industry whereby it's just like 24 hours is what I do as a service person.
Yeah.
So, but I still need to narrow it down to say I have a family and I need to balance it up. So as it is at the moment, my wife is, let me say, she works full time. But I have to sacrifice some things that I do now to be able to accommodate the space which she is in at the moment. So it's not really, I won't say it's that very easy, but it takes sacrifice because majorly I'm meant to work maybe like 8-9 hours a day. But as it is, I don't think I do more than 4 hours a day. Just for me to be able to create that time for them.
You're a good dad. Thank you.
Because
you're a good mom.
For example, in the morning, I have to drop them at school. In the afternoon, wherever I am, when I check the time, it's 2 o'clock. I have to leave there because I have to go pick them in school, drop them at home. And when I drop them at home, I have to stay with them at home till their mom comes back. And when she comes back, that's when I have to go and tidy up whatever it is I've been able to do from when I dropped them from school in the morning and when I went to pick them. So it's just a way of, we just have to balance it because they also need us at every point in time.
So now say my thank you to your husband because you're not doing it alone. Definitely not. You're not doing it alone. So my thank you to your wife. And can I also say this to every parent, mom, dad listening to me? You have to create the time.
It's important.
Not just at home, in terms of also engaging with their teachers, engaging with the school, attending parents' evening. This is absolutely important. Understand also the educational system in the United Kingdom because it's where you live. So you have to be miles and steps ahead of them in terms of what is going on. And don't be too busy not to browse things. Everything is on gov.uk. Anything education you want to know about your children's school, you want to know about the educational system in the United Kingdom is right there waiting for you. So pay attention to that. Google things. Google is your friend. Ask questions on Google if you're not sure. But you have to be on top of your game. You have to educate yourself. So before we round this session up, I want us to quickly look at the bit of integration. Because there is this aspect of our children, and when I see them demonstrating that, I'm really happy. For example, accent. I enjoy that, and sometimes they blend with our own accent. However you want it. But when they're in the school space, they have how they talk and so on. So there's that bit of the culture, because one of the things the UK government and society wants is people coming from abroad integrate. And I'm a fan of that, to be honest. So in terms of integration, I think as I had one of the young ones in church on Sunday when she was sharing testimony and so on, and within a year the accent has changed. I'm telling you, and sometimes I even struggle to, hello, can you say it again? So how best do you think we can help them to integrate? We've talked about our own culture, so how best can we also help them to blend with the culture where we live? Yes.
I would say maybe by supporting them to participate in activities in the local community. And also from a spiritual aspect, supporting them also to participate in church activities. Because sometimes some people there might be a culture shock. So because it's different, where they're coming from or where we all came from is different from where we are now. But communicating with people and participating in activities in the communities, finding out news about things going on around us, speaking to our neighbors, having friends. All of those things can help.
And we shouldn't discourage things like they want to go into football.
Absolutely.
Because with that, they mingle, they engage.
Definitely.
Things like book club. swimming lessons and things like that. Yeah. You have anything in
yeah, I just want to chip in a little thing. As much as we try to make them interact with people of maybe of their peer, we should also try to be conscious of what we are doing.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it across all ages now.
Yeah.
That we only know of our own background, we only know of our own parenting.
Yeah.
But the other family they are trying to interact with, we don't know what their background is.
True.
We don't know what they are. So we don't want them to now expose our children
with wisdom a house is built.
Exactly. So we don't want situation whereby information will be cross-carpeting onto our children, and at the end of the day,
let me quickly cut in. You know, those days, my wife would say to the boys, I want to know your friend,
which is good.
And she sometimes go as far as knowing their parents. You know, can I have your friend's parents' number?
That's good.
You understand? Okay, because sometimes they want to sleep over because of XYZ. So, and sometimes you have to fight that. But in the end, you have to meet someone in the middle.
Exactly.
Okay, you're going to allow you to go. However, I need the mom's telephone number. So we need to chat first. And then sometimes the mom will say, no worries, dad, no worries, mom. I will actually bring him back the following morning.
That's it. That's an assurance to say they are in the safe hands.
Yeah.
That's it.